Good evening, families, and welcome to Open House for the 2020-21 school year. It's definitely different than one I have ever presented before. Please feel free to join the question and answer session if anything that I'm presenting in this video has caused you questions or concerns. You can certainly always email me as well. So I'd love to start by just introducing myself. My name is Alicia Gildner, and I'm your child's teacher this year for second grade. I have been teaching second grade for 18 years. I taught kindergarten for 6 years before that, so it is my 22nd year of teaching, which is truly hard for me to believe. Personally, I just want to let you know that I do have two boys of my own, Patrick and Michael. Patrick is 14, Michael is 12. So I have two middle schoolers who are also doing hybrid learning. And as a mom and a teacher, and just as a person, I can empathize with all of the stressors and the hard work that's going into all of the hybrid models. So please know that I can understand any of your concerns on a professional level and a personal level as a mom too, because we're going through all of those things in our house as well. So I'd like to start off a little bit by talking about our schedule. I would love for you to know that right now our schedule is a work in progress. One of my goals is to increase the amount of live times I'm meeting with the students in person and at home. Starting this week, September 16th, we are going to be doing our morning meetings at 8:45 all together every day. So even if the students are in class, they're going to participate with the students who are learning remotely through our morning meeting and Google Meets. So I'm hoping that we see some success with that. I do know there's some challenges with Google Meets. So if you're having any trouble logging in or dropping calls, please reach out and let me know. You can see from there that the plan for the day is to make sure that we have readers workshop, writers workshop, foundations, which is our word study and grammar lessons. We have recess and lunch every day. We, in the afternoon, have math workshop, read aloud time. Every day your child will be attending specials, and then we'll end our day with content time, which could be science, social studies, or health. What you'll notice on the schedule is I did say coming soon to live meets. I'm going to try and engage all students in the read aloud at one time. It's been super tricky to remember which chapter I'm on right now and make sure that I'm reading the right group, the right chapter of our read aloud book. So I would love to encourage all of the kids to hear that together. There are certainly other books that I'll be sharing throughout the day in our teaching and learning, but for right now, we are all working together on a book called Back to School Mallory. The kids truly fall in love with the characters in the book and usually tend to take some books out from Mrs. Carlson with those characters because there's so many books in the series. So I can direct you to that on Epic and in your own shopping online for books. That's a great series. So when I start to look at the schedule and look at each part of our day, readers workshop, we have a goal in second grade to develop an appreciation of reading and see it really as a life skill. And we're going to be doing that in our classroom, both in person and remotely. So you may have already seen that some of our videos and lessons are going to be at home, and it will be new lessons and new learning. And some of them are going to be in person as well. All of our mini lessons are going to address comprehension, accuracy, fluency, and vocabulary building. And we do that through the Reader's Workshop model of strategy groups, independent reading. We do whole group lessons. We will hopefully get to small group lessons when students are in person or online. And I'll be working one-on-one with your children to get to know them as readers as well. Moving along in our day, we'll get to Writer's Workshop next. And again, that's to develop an appreciation for writing and to see that as a life skill as well. Once again, you're going to see both lessons happening in person and remotely. So you will see videos posted in Google Classroom and on our slides. It's truly important that you encourage your child to be watching these mini lesson videos before they're doing their work. That part of learning sometimes might be review, and a lot of times will be new learning. So it's very important that they're watching those components before they try to do the assignments. This year, the genres that we will be introducing your child to will include fiction writing for narrative writing, poetry, nonfiction. So we'll be doing more of like research and informational texts, but also nonfiction reports through science. And we're going to be writing some lab reports. And we'll end the year with writing all about our reading. So we'll make a great connection to our readers workshop then. We will be including grammar lessons, and this all happens again through the same kind of model in Readers Workshop where we are doing whole group, small group, there's independence, then there's conferencing one-on-one. Math workshop is another huge part of our day, which will be happening in the afternoons. I think, like I said, our schedule is a work in progress, but we are really working on developing problem solvers and creative thinkers in terms of those problem solving and really developing perseverance around those reasoning skills. So there's 4 main areas where all of our lessons fall. We really focus on base 10. That includes the mastery of addition and subtraction facts through 20. We have started that review already this year, and I'm encouraging at home. That's really one of the best things that kids can do independently is continue to practice their fluency of math facts. They may know all of their facts, but it's really getting that repetition and fluency in terms of being able to know them quickly and efficiently so that when we in second grade move on to 2-digit and 3-digit addition, those facts will be right there with them. So moving on, we do using addition and subtraction to solve 1- and 2-step word problems. We have geometry and data and measurement throughout our units. So we are working on graphing and telling time and those things that are all filtered in, measuring using rulers and a variety of measuring tools. In the afternoon, we are going to also be working on content. When we are doing our content, we're trying as much as we can to filter it into our other learning areas. So if we are doing a unit on democracy and we're learning about how to vote, some of our reading lessons might include texts that have that same topic. Same with writing. If we're writing nonfiction and we're learning about beavers, then we might include in our writing lessons information about beavers. So we're really trying to put all of those things in because we have to make sure that we are covering all of our material in the most efficient way, but still making sure the kids get all the units. So you can notice on the slides for social studies this year, and our year is really split into 2 sections. So the first half of the year is when we'll be doing our social studies units, where we'll be learning about democracy, citizenship, and geography and economy. In the later part of the year, that's when we move into science, and we'll be learning and focusing on matter, beavers, and plants. Health, nutrition, and germs are filtered in throughout the year. That really speaks to the work and academic portions of the day. I know that I mentioned we'll also be having a read aloud time, and that's something certainly to support all of those areas of learning. So I do want to transfer my thinking and talking right now to a little bit more about expectations in the classroom and online. So we do have our eGreen Constitution we still use for our behavior expectations. And we're going to be talking a lot about our Constitution in our democracy unit. But as a reminder for all students, the 3 tenets that we live by at eGreen is that we are respectful, responsible, and kind. And we certainly are still in the classroom working on being a bucket-filling classroom. These behaviors are truly expected whether students are in person or online, because we know that when we are digital citizens, we still need to be respectful, responsible, and kind. So the next slide is just a review of one that you've probably seen quite a bit. I've sent it home both in paper and digitally to just make sure that you're reviewing with your children when they are online, that they are really focusing on being on time, chatting responsibly, again, being respectful, The presentation piece is key for young children. We really want to encourage them to treat this just as they would school. So I want to make sure that all students are wearing their appropriate clothing. I'm really asking that there's no eating on screen when we are working together. I'd like students to just be sitting up and in camera view. So if they have to be in a place where they aren't at a desk, that's fine, but I really need them to be in camera view. And we're going to refrain from bringing special things onto the screen like pets and toys. There certainly are going to be times when I encourage kids to do a share. And of course, that's going to be a time when those things are acceptable. But I really want to make sure that kids are really understanding that when they're in our Google Meets, they're focused on school just like they would be here. I have to tell you that the start of our year has been amazing. In the classroom, students are truly being respectful, responsible, and kind. And I really would like to highlight that responsible piece in terms of mask wear and social distancing and making sure that kids are washing hands. The children are really doing a great job with this in class. So I'd like to continue that great behavior into that online world as well. As I move on, I just have a few other things I'd like to talk about and point out. Our special classes are working a little differently this year in the hybrid model. We are working on a 6-week cycle where the students right now have 2 specials a week. So we currently have art and media during the week. Please understand that they are seeing each teacher once in person. On the at-home days, the special area teacher will be sending assignments either in print. So if Mrs. Carlson sees them on Monday and would like them to do something for their at-home learning on Tuesday, she might send it home with them on Monday. Or she might be posting through Google Classroom an assignment. So please be on the lookout in Google Classroom for any assignments coming from your special area teachers, and they will be listed under this heading of the special area teacher. I am not putting links to their assignments in my slideshow, so that will have to be a habit that you encourage students to get into to make sure that library and art lessons are being handled at home, and we check Google Classroom to make sure they know what they're doing. For class materials, I'm just asking that you please make sure your students are coming to school every day with a charged Chromebook, and that on Thursdays, if they're in school, or Friday, if they're in school, they come to school with their art bags in their backpack. I know the art bags are a little bit big and cumbersome. They do not need to stay in their bags all week. Just on the day that they have art is fine. I have separate pencil cases for each student in the classroom, so they have their own pencils, colored pencils, crayons, scissors, glue sticks. All of the materials they need are also in their desks. We do have snack every day around 10 a.m. So because we have recess at 11:30 and then lunch is around noon. So 10 seems to be a great time to give them a break for a snack and a mask break. So please make sure that you are sending your child with a healthy snack since they are in the morning time. And you can also consider sending a refillable water bottle each day because we do not have access to the water fountains. They are able to drink water bottles at their desk, and if they need to, they can refill the bottles either at our faucet in the classroom, or we have new water bottle refilling stations in the hallway by the gymnasium. A few other thoughts that I've had about the school year. I know that we have birthdays, not any this month, but coming up next month. We're always going to be acknowledged in them through morning meetings. So whether your child is at home or in school on their birthday, we'll definitely make sure we acknowledge a birthday and celebrate with happy birthday wishes. If you would like to send something in for the children, please try to send something for the whole class. We can send it home on the kids when they are in, but I will make sure that those items are wiped down before anything goes home if you pass out a pencil or a bookmark. Please remember that food is not allowed for birthday celebrations. Another extra thing that I've been thinking about, I did send home the email about Scholastic book clubs. We're only going to be doing the online ordering this year. We do have a class code, and I will make sure that that is in any material that comes home so that you will be able to access that. If you have any problems with Scholastic book clubs, please let me know. But I do encourage you to work on building libraries at home with books your child are interested in. I will be sending books home from school. When they come back to school, they will be quarantined and wiped down so that once they make it back into our classroom library, they are clean and germ-free for our friends to use. But we will be doing that less often, so it's great to have more books at home. I think the only thing I wanted to make sure that I was clear about before I wrap up for the evening is that I am going to be assigning Google Slides every single day in our Google Classroom. It's truly important that the students go to Google Classroom first every day and open up our slide deck for the day. Because as I mentioned earlier, there's going to be new learning posted. And I do not want the students to get in the habit of just completing the work assignments without viewing any videos that I post or assignments that I give. I usually often try and give directions. Anything that I have on the slide that can go with their learning and support them at home, anything I can think of, I'm trying to include to make it easiest for you when they are at home. I am truly doing my best to make sure that when students are in front of me, they are getting more and more practice with how to click and find everything they need so that they can become more and more independent at home. I apologize that in these first weeks, there's definitely still some help that they're going to need from you, especially with some of those reading and writing lessons. Logging into the site in order to see the video still requires a username and password. So I just want you to know how much I appreciate all of your support at home. And I do understand that so many of you are working from home right now, and things can't always happen during the regular school hours. I appreciate that sometimes you might be getting some of these activities done in the evenings. Please know that I typically check my emails right before I leave school and then usually once at night. So feel free to email me. My contact information is on the screen here. I try to include it in my correspondence as well so that you have it from when you need me. If you are having a question while your student is learning from home and I am teaching the students in school, I do try to make sure I'm getting back at least during lunchtime or when the kids are at specials. So I am trying to respond during the day when possible. I just ask that you have some patience if it takes me until the afternoon to get back to you. So thank you again for attending and listening to all of this information. I know it was a lot coming your way. If you would like to send me an email with any other questions, feel free, please. I'm happy to respond in any way I can to make this year successful. I'm truly excited to be back. It is absolutely what I love to do. Even after 22 years, I still love my job just like it was my first day. So thank you so much once again. I encourage you to reach out for whatever you need. Communication is going to be key for a successful year. Have a great night.